everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is b.eeana and I'm a second-year medical student at a DO school. So my 1 week of spring break is now over. It literally felt like it lasted about 5 minutes, and now we're back at school, back on the grind, and the last 6 weeks of this semester are probably going to be really rough. And for that reason, I didn't do any work over spring break. I really just took that time to relax. The only school-related things I did were I reviewed first aid repro, pathoma repro, and then I watched 2 of the lectures that were scheduled for this week. But aside from that, I really didn't do any other work because for the next 6 weeks, I have an exam next week, an exam the week after that, an exam after that, 2 exams the week after that, and then another exam the week after that. And then my last exam for the semester is going to be on Monday, April 18th. And then 3 weeks after that, I take the USMLE. And then 1 week after that, I take the COMLEX. So basically the last 6 weeks of the semester are probably going to be really, really rough. And then the 3 weeks after the semester ends, where I'm studying for the USMLE and COMLEX, is also going to be really, really rough. So I figured it would probably be in my best interest to just take spring break off because it's going to be very, very go, go, go from this point on. So this is what my schedule is looking like for this week. I haven't filled out next week's schedule yet, but I know that I have an exam on Monday, and then all of these days are likely going to be spent studying for this exam that I have the next Monday. So I'm gonna fill that out today, but yeah, that's what it's looking like. On Sunday, I have a volleyball tournament, so I know I'm not gonna be studying on Sunday. Hopefully the next 9 weeks of my life turn out okay, but there are exams every single week for the rest of the semester, and then it's USMLE time, and then COMLEX time, and then hopefully I'll be free. Today I finished watching 2 of the repro lectures. I went through pathoma a little bit, and then for the last about 20 minutes I did 25 practice questions for OMM, since I do have that OPP COMAT exam on Monday, and I didn't even explain what that was, but basically the OPP COMAT is going to be like a shorter version of a mock COMLEX that only tests us on OMM material. So OPP stands for osteopathic principles and practices, and up until yesterday I hadn't done any OMM practice questions aside from the few that showed up on the first COMAT that I took and the first ComSci that I took. I was looking at UWorld, and unfortunately I did not purchase the OMM questions that came with UWorld, and if I want to purchase them now it costs $50 for 30-day access, which just seems ridiculous to me. But my school did provide us with TrueLearn, which up until yesterday I totally forgot I even had, and I hadn't even used it. So yesterday I opened up TrueLearn and I did some of the practice questions for OMM. I got a 75%, which is in the 90th percentile, so like, yes, I am pretty good at OMM, thank goodness. So that made me feel a little bit better about the exam that I'm going to have on Monday. But I just did another set of 25 questions and I got like a 65%, which puts me still in like the 75th, 80th percentile. So not as good as 90th, but still that's pretty good. And considering I haven't done any pure OMM review, these are pretty solid scores. So I think for the next couple of hours, I'm going to do more OMM questions on TrueLearn. TrueLearn also has other practice questions for USMLE and COMLEX exam practice, but I think I'm just going to stick to using Amboss and UWorld for regular USMLE and COMLEX questions, and I'll just use TrueLearn for OMM questions. So I figured like we could just do some OMM questions together right now. 64-year-old female presents the office with chief complaint of right-sided buttocks pain. Pain began after arising from a crouching position 1 week ago. Localized to the right side, does not radiate. She denies any weakness, numbness, bowel, bladder, or gait dysfunction. She has intact strength, sensation, reflexes. Straight leg raise is negative. OSC reveals positive seated flexion test. So I'm going to have to draw this. Positive seated flexion test on the right. Deep sacral sulcus on the right. Posterior ILA on the left. Wait, deep sacral sulcus on the right, posterior ILA on the left. Lumbosacral spring test is negative. Which L5 diagnosis is associated with the sacral somatic dysfunction? Dang, they couldn't just give me a first order question, huh? Okay, so positive seated flexion test on the right, deep sacral sulcus on the right, prominent ILA on the left with normal spring. That means this is a left on left torsion of the sacrum. What L5 diagnosis is associated? Okay, so L5 is going to be rotated to the right. Okay, see, since the sacrum is not flexed or extended, I'm going to assume that L5 is also not going to be flexed or extended, so it's going to be neutral. And we know it's rotated right, which leaves only this answer. And I'm doing this in exam mode, so I actually don't know if my answers are right off the bat, so Upper respiratory infection, symptomatic over 24 hours. Thoracic inlet, rib raising. You want to perform soft tissue technique that enhances lymphatic drainage of the face. You ask him to lie down and perform the technique attached in the video. What is this technique called? So there's going to be a video. It's probably going to be facial development, to be honest. Oh, nope, it's effleurage. Yes, it is effleurage. Okay, cool. Mid back pain, worse by exertion, thoracic somatic dysfunction. T7 is restricted in extension and side bending to the left. What is the proper diagnosis for this function? What is the underlying mechanism? Okay, this is going to be a type 2 dysfunction. T7 is restricted in extension, so it's going to be T7 flexed, and restricted in side bending to the left, which means restriction in rotation to the left. So he's going to be flexed, rotated right, side bend right. Type 2 dysfunction. Oh my god. Had to take a quick break. And now we're gonna get back to work. Okay, 4-year-old male fell on an outstretched left hand while ice skating. No swelling or point tenderness, but there's a small abrasion on the palm of the left hand. Full active range of motion. Although on passive examination, his wrist is restricted in flexion. After full examination, the patient is diagnosed with a posterior radial head. Which of the following is expected with this somatic dysfunction? Oh my god, I suck at this. Radial head will be restricted in anterior glide. Oh yeah, that's true. Yes, wait. Okay, I way overthought that, yeah. Radial head will be restricted in anterior glide if he has a posterior radial head. 45-year-old male presents to the office with a complaint of chest pain, worse with breathing. He was in a car accident, rib fractures ruled out. Okay, ribs 3 to 7 move symmetrically in exhalation on the right side, but do not move with inhalation. Okay, so he has exhaled ribs 3 to 7. How would muscle energy be performed? Okay, so you have to treat rib 3. So you need to ask the patient to isometrically contract the pec while breathing. Okay, I still have 6 more questions to do. I'll be back when I find out my score. Alrighty, moment of truth. Yay! I scored an 80 and the national average was a 73.8. I got 20 questions right, 5 questions wrong. That's pretty good, guys. That's pretty good. Hey everybody, happy Saturday. It's now almost 2 p.m. I got out of bed about 2 hours ago, so obviously today is off to a very slow start. So tomorrow is my volleyball tournament, which means there will be no studying that's going to be done tomorrow, but I am really excited for tomorrow's tournament, so that's why I was studying really hard over the week. I did about 200 practice OMM questions to prepare for my OPP comment that I have on Monday, and I also did a little bit of review of Chapman's points, viscerosomatic reflexes, and really the only thing left that I really need to work on is the axes of rotations and cranial strains. I have forgotten all of that stuff, which I needed to know like several months ago for a clinical skills final written exam, but I don't remember that stuff anymore, so I have to commit those back to memory. Some of the Chapman's points I still don't have committed to memory, so at this point a lot of the questions that I was getting wrong were mainly questions that were memorizing Chapman points, memorizing viscerosomatic reflexes, memorizing the axes of rotation, and a lot of the stuff that was knowledge and application of knowledge, I got those questions right. So I think a lot of today will just be spent doing some more practice questions and then just trying to memorize all of those points and all of those viscerosomatic reflexes. Aside from that, I don't think I'm going to do anything too crazy today since I already studied really hard over the week, and I just don't really feel like studying today because Eric's home, and when Eric's home, I don't want to do anything because he's been gone for the whole week. So now I just want to hang out with him. You know what I mean? So hopefully today goes well. There's just a little bit more stuff that I need to do, and then I have my volleyball tournament tomorrow, which again, I'm very excited for, and I can't wait to be done with this exam. Hey everybody, so I figured I would just hop on here to close out the video and let you know how the exam went. I honestly felt like the exam questions were pretty fair. I didn't take the exam feeling like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on, this is so hard. But it is the first and only time I've ever run out of time taking an exam. I literally had 10 questions left that I didn't even have time to finish. And that is the frustrating part because I feel like I could have gotten those questions right if I just had more time to read them. But so many of the OMM question stems were so long. You'd have a paragraph of information and then you'd have like 5 to 8 bullet points of more information. And then you'd have the question at the end, and then all of the answer choices are so long, so you have to read every single thing. And it was so annoying because you needed to take time to think and you needed to take time to read. So by the time I was halfway through the exam time, I was only on question 55 out of 125. So I start internally panicking because I realize I'm not going to have enough time to do all of this. So by the end of it, I was on question 115 and I ran out of time. So 10 questions that were just completely left blank, and I left some very angry feedback, and I literally wrote, if you're gonna make the questions so long, you need to give me more time to read them, otherwise I don't even have time to process what I've read and think about it. So that's annoying. I think there were about 170 students in my class, and I would say only 4 people finished on time, and everyone else was sitting there up until the very last minute. And when everybody left the room, they were all like, what the heck was that exam? That was so hard. I didn't even finish. I ran out of time. I needed more time. Why were the question stems so long? So I know I'm not alone in how I feel, but that's how it went. I feel like I knew the material. I just did not have enough time because there were too many questions, too much reading to be done, too much thinking that needed to be done, and not enough time to do it all. I don't know if I'm going to include any clips of the volleyball game. I don't know if you guys are interested in that, but yesterday was probably the most fun I've had in so long. So I'm so glad that I attended the volleyball tournament. We lost in the semifinals, but it's okay because literally it was one of the best times I had in so many years. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys liked it. And if you did, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!